welcome to Wonder Homeschool. My name is Shauna and I'm going through my fall curriculums for 2025-2026 school year. Today I'm going to just talk shortly on the science curriculum that I chose for all three of my kids. I have a incoming fourth grader, incoming second grader, and a incoming kindergartner. This is my first year teaching kindergarten, so I've tried to make all of the family style, which I think is just history and science this year, and probably whatever art we end up doing. Very simple, very gentle, so that everyone can have a lot of fun learning it. So let's get started. Okay, so here is Seasons Afield. It is by Beautiful Feet Books, and this is their science. I've heard a lot of good things. I know there are a lot of great reviews on this one. That's why I picked it, because I was watching someone's great video on it. So it goes through what I like about it. It's science, it's nature science, and it goes through the school year, and it's seasonal. So that's just such a wonderful and a beautiful approach to teaching when most things are in like a textbook. So it's kind of nice when I get the chance to do that. All right, so I've got the autumn story is the first kind of section. It looks like they kind of did it into different field guides. So it looks autumn story, high hills, secret staircase, winter story, and spring story, and then Poppy's babies. And a lot of those have to do with the Complete Brambly Hedge. So you read along with that, and that kind of goes along with the theme. So you'll read a little bit of the story. So you read the story, the autumn story for Brambly Hedge, and then they have some activities like foraging and preserving, fruit preserving, how leaves decompose, and then some special extra lessons. Looks like they have special lessons extra that you can go into at the end of each section. And let's see, I'm not really sure how long this is supposed to last. I have not looked as much deeply into this one yet, other than watching the video. So I know that they said that you can pretty much go as deep as you want to go into this, and it can, yeah. So let's see, so you got story lessons, field work, notebooking, slow down and wander, and those are all workbooks that I actually already have. So got handicrafts, a logbook, there's watercoloring that you can do. These are the books that you do use. So I already have that. It's a great cute little story of a family of mice inside the woods. Then you have in the forest watercoloring that I'm just going to make copies of. We have the book of the Tales of the Mushroom Folk. We have that. My daughter absolutely loves that book. It's her favorite. It kind of tells you and teaches you about different kinds of mushrooms, the poisonous ones, the non-poisonous ones. We don't have too many mushrooms in our area, but she just got really excited, and she loves the way that they did the artwork and made them little people. And then I got the Home in the Woods. That one you can definitely find on YouTube. I've watched it before. It's really good. And then Slow Down has a bunch of, it's almost like an encyclopedia of different types of insects. So it has 50 moments in nature that are paused so you can watch them in detail. So like basically things like bees getting honey and butterflies coming out from a caterpillar to a butterfly out of their chrysalises. And I think they have activities with it. Fall Walk, Golden Glow. This one I've heard really good things about. It's about the person who took pictures and did a science project on taking pictures of snowflakes and seeing how they are all so unique, which is super cool. I love that example of how God made nature. And then you got Winter Sleep. I love the Year of the Perfect Christmas Tree. It's sweet story. Owl Moon, Mrs. Maple Seeds. So you can see we're going from winter into spring. Alice Waters Cooks Up a Food Revolution. Albert Pond. So it goes from cozy autumn into fall, winter, and then spring, and then you go into summer. So it says Autumn Story. It's beautiful. It's like a magazine type of paper. It's fantastic. So it got the definition for foraging. They have materials that you need. Watercolor with me. Autumn Story. Slow down. You have like a backpack so you can go on a walk, a nature walk. We will see how that goes. They have library connections. They have extra books that you can get from the library to read to your kids during that week that you're working on the science section. So you got this forage lesson 1. So first you read the autumn story from Brambly Hedge, and it talks about foraging. So some discussion about foraging. And it also has them notice how how autumn weather changes. We live in California, so not too much changes. It changes a little bit. So what we're probably going to do is have to look on YouTube too, the East Coast videos. I know that they have on the fall, the leaves changing up in their mountains, like in the Smoky Mountains, and how beautiful that is. So autumn flora and fauna that are found in the story. So that's lesson 1. So it's that whole lesson is just reading it and then talking about weather and how the leaves change and talk about foraging. And then you have talk about words that kind of stand out. Hedgerow, brambles, and briars. So they kind of learn some vocabulary. Field work. So the second day that you work on it, you have set up your outdoor office. So you just basically set up a backpack for them to go on their nature walks. And they should have glue stick, pencil, crayons, like a notebook, and then a bag to carry it all in. And then you're going to go find a place, and they teach about how to keep a log book on this day. And then I think the next lesson is watercoloring and journal. So do some cutouts that you can do, or lightly glue your light and dark watercoloring. So whenever they watercolor, they want to put it in their journal to keep track of it. A note or picture to describe the weather that day while they're outside. And then the next lesson, I'm trying to think, I'm not sure, like there's just such small little lessons that they could possibly do more than one in a day, but I can get ahead of myself. So I'm trying to see, read a Squirrel Forages for Nuts in the Slowdown book. It looks like that's where it's to actually go foraging. So you can peer into grasses. Do you recognize any foods? Any wild onions or garlic? I'm not really sure how we're going to do the foraging because we do live near a city. But we can maybe go to the park nearby, or we can go to, we do have the Pinnacles National Park nearby, so we can check with that if they have that. That would have to do some planning. So if you do have any nature walks outside that would have foraging other than, a neighborhood like we live in, you might need to do some planning for that. So I think that's it. So it looks like 4 days if they do the short little lessons, or you can kind of put them together and do it faster if you'd like. I usually do science about 3 to 4 days anyways a week, so I probably just do a little bit and have these little tiny bites of everything. And then it does the same thing for a preserve. Looks like they do like a little science lesson on different things that are solid, liquids, and colloids. And then what is the field work? Let's see. Notebooking. And they preserve, I think. Let's see. Explore. Kind of cool place. Anyways, yeah, so I'm looking through this as you guys are. And yeah, it didn't decompose. So we talked about different parts of it. So I'm probably gonna have to go through this and kind of decide how much we're gonna do that week, and whether we're gonna actually go on location or just go for a walk. But yeah, this would be great, especially if we can get into our national park or our local local park, county park. That would be good. See if we can go on any searches for acorns or mushrooms. It seems like they're learning all sorts of things. So this might be super easy, and looks like there's some picture lessons too. And doesn't look like it's the same every day. It looks like they kind of switch it up. Sometimes it's a recipe, like making pickles. Yeah, so it should be interesting. I've never done science this way. I usually do have a science book where we just have experiments, and that's kind of the whole school day. So yeah, this is a whole new style doing a nature study for me, but I think it will be fun as long as we just take it as that and I don't overthink it, because if I overdo it, it's going to make it to be too hard. So, and it looks like they make a map of their own wild place later on, north, east, west, and south. Looks like they make their own compass. Different types of clouds that you can study, and they have beautiful little pictures of that. Evergreen trees, especially around Christmas time. Hibernation. So if anything, it's a very gentle introduction through living books and through cute little picture books to explore the seasons. And then some cute little crafts. So This may go a lot faster than I thought, but we will see if we're lacking anything. And if it feels like we're lacking the scientific method too much, I might go get a curriculum for that. But for now, I'm going to try to keep it nice and simple for all three of them for this nature study. So school is a lot about science, a lot in elementary school is a lot about nature and seeing how it connects to our life and our little world and our habitats. So, and that's definitely something they're going to study is animals and habitats and weather. So yeah, that's nice little, they love, all my children love doing baking recipes. They love doing little crafts. So it would be great. I just have to make sure that I'm keeping an eye out because since it's not the same thing planned every week, I need to make sure I'm ready for it. Looks like they talk about seeds in the spring. And I don't know if there is summer. I think it stops at, looks like it stops at spring. I don't really see summer on here, which makes sense because usually we don't do school over the summers. Yeah, ponds. I think that's going to be pretty fun. And then I think it said, they do have it where you can get all the books with them if you want to, but I chose just, since most of these books are all found easily at the library, I'm going to be using our local library to just cut down on costs too. So that is our science. So hopefully that was not too boring as I'm kind of got caught in there looking into, wow, what am I going to do? But I think it's going to be good. I'm hopeful that that's going to be great. I think we're going to have a really good time going through this Seasons of Field, and it's going to be beautiful. So I hope you have a great day. Hopefully this helps you realize that sometimes science can be really great and super scientific method-y, and where you have a curriculum and you have lab reports and all of that, which I am excited to do, but I'm thinking I'm going to do chemistry next year. And if this only ends up taking a semester because we go through it faster, then we may end up just doing chemistry in the spring because I know the kids really do love experiments. But learning about nature, learning about the seasons and the weather and habitats, all of that stuff is in here, and connecting it all to books is just incredible. What an opportunity and a gentle and fun time to just spend with them. And the memories we're going to make are going to be great. So I'm really excited for this. Yeah, so we will see. I will let you know, and I will update you if I end up adding any more. So I hope you guys have a great day, and hope this helps you guys with your science choices for the 2025-2026 school year.